The British may have their tea time, the Japanese may have their evening baths, but bestowed upon all needs, manga, the most powerful form of healing. There's just something magical about seeing someone's passions and creativity all poured into one book. You can even get inspiration, like now, where I just got an idea. Hello fellow neets. So it's a cold winter day today, as usual in January in Canada. Yesterday it was blizzarding though, so it's getting a little bit better. And I guess for me, the best I can really do is just make sure I keep moisturized so that my hands don't get so dry. And I guess other than that, it's like I've kind of noticed my energy levels rising, because I've been trying to get my sleep schedule more in line, and I just feel like I can do more in the day, and that's good, because winter in Canada is so harsh that it's impossible to really be high energy when the sun's not out for like a whole month sometimes. It's crazy. But even if I'm feeling not so great sometimes, I can just sort of occupy the time with just drawing, and it gets me at least a little bit better. And I guess that's the important part of just doodling, is that it just helps you be a little bit better than you were before. And that's really all it needs to be for me. So I actually bought some mangas and some books from Japan. I think it's really interesting to see the different art styles from manga artists. Like this is really cool. Like in this book here, this is the Witch Hat Atelier, I think. Atelier Witch Hat by Shirahama Kamome Shirahama. And so it's supposed to be about this little girl who cannot produce any magic, but she wants to be a witch. So she tries to do some forbidden magic, and she gets stopped by this magic professor or something. But there's just this one page that really stood out to me, actually, was how this person's tunic here, it kind of turns into like water. And it's just amazing to see how you can make such a beautiful design out of something so simple. It's almost like he's turning into like nature, and it's just like flowing the way the lines flow. I just think it's really beautiful. And you start to notice, like when you see, texts and media from other cultures, is that a lot of the art actually aligns with like their thinking patterns and stuff, and what they actually emphasize and care about. Like I know for the internet, a lot of people really care about perfection and like symmetry, stuff like that, like objectively measurable things, which is very like Renaissance, where they had the golden ratio and such like that. They really cared about symmetry and making mathematical equations for anatomy and such, which is like kind of a technology in and of itself. But you also have, on the other hand, like in Asian cultures, where they care more about colors and patterns and expressing feelings on like a flat image, sort of like in these washi papers, which I think is really cool. Like you can see how bright and beautiful these patterns are. You can see that this is like storks with some like wavy things, and it's gold too. That's just amazes me. And you really start to notice it once you see just more of the other kind of medias. I think a lot of it also just comes from like Buddhist teachings as well, which is something that is interesting, and I don't fully know quite yet, but I did get a book from Japan about Buddhism. so I will be reading about it. And yeah, I just thought it would be kind of interesting today to try maybe a different kind of approach, less perspective, less anatomy, and more just kind of drawing patterns and trying to make things, I guess, beautiful or in a different way. That doesn't necessarily have to be in the traditional sense, because I think that's really what art is about in the end anyways, right? So as usual, I'm going to be using my Mujirishi pocket notes. I've noticed the book has been getting kind of torn from being in my bag. I always like to make sure that I bring my sketchbook with me, because there might always be something interesting to draw. As you see in some of my other videos, actually, I sometimes just go to places and just draw random stuff in public. It is a little bit weird to record, to be honest, but it's still fun regardless. So today, the date is 2024. January 19th. No, 20th. Whoops. I messed up. Okay, I got it. So I'm thinking, what should I maybe think of drawing? Well, I think today I want to do some more abstract stuff, so it can really just be kind of anything I want it to be. I don't have to think too hard about it. Maybe I can just base it off of something really simple. Like I have, like, what if I turn a tunic into water, like in the book? Obviously, I can try to be a bit different than that. Maybe if it was like a dress, something, I guess something similar, but it's like turning into some abstract shapes or something like that. I could imagine would be kind of interesting. Like if I, say, were to just draw, yeah, like a dress, like a person. Yeah, I just draw a person and they can look pretty normal. Then I draw them with just like a dress that's like kind of flowing, and then maybe it turns into something interesting like flowers or like waves or something. Maybe it would just be kind of inspired by the manga or something. Doesn't have to be too detailed or anything. It's just in trying to enjoy myself with the drawing and just have a calm session. Just a very simple dress. Maybe it's just like very simple anatomy. Not really focusing on the anatomy because that's not the focus. And then just like what is this called? The part in the middle around the waist. And maybe the dress kind of goes out, but it goes out into like feathers or like waves or something. And maybe your hair can like go out into something like that. Yeah, this kind of works. Yeah, I like that. Just kind of think about it like it's flowing in some sort of pattern. It doesn't need to be perfect, you just need to feel it out. It just kind of works. And I'm already starting to get something here by just kind of making these kind of curved lines that are just really more about getting the shape, I guess. Not really anything super accurate or, you know, not like completely correct in any way. Because it kind of makes a flowing, it flows like it's a rhythm. There we go. And I'm learning something new today too. Like I don't always do this. I generally kind of have like a style that kind of lends itself well to like comics. A lot of people say maybe I can make like a manga or something. So I'm really used to just thinking in like 3D and stuff. It's just how my brain kind of works after just drawing so much. I don't really think about it too much. I don't need to think about it. I've thought of becoming a manga artist. I've actually, as a child, I have always wanted to be a manga artist, but it's just really hard if you're not born in Japan, which is really unfortunate, to be honest. It's just, it doesn't make much money. It's a lot of work, which, to be fair, it's like I'm okay with that if it's fun, but still it's kind of gate-kept and it's a little bit saddening, but it's fine. I really like this here where it's kind of going into some sort of like swirly thing. I don't really need to think about it. I'm just kind of going with the flow. Then maybe, yeah, just more rhythm. More rhythm is what we need. Now, this is when you start to go into the flow state, where things just kind of work for whatever reason. It's really hard to describe it, but it's like meditation. It's, I guess, how some Buddhist monks might describe it as is like in Zen Buddhism, zazen. So sitting to meditate, zazen. It's getting into the state of meditation can be very difficult, but to also understand that it doesn't need to be perfect or anything. It doesn't need to be perfect, or it doesn't need to be good even, as long as it makes you feel at peace, or no, not at peace, I mean, as long as you feel better than before, then it's a successful zazen. You don't need to empty your mind fully. It's less about being perfect or good, and more about just being better, just self-improvement, which I think it is a good philosophy to have in general. If you just want to improve yourself, you know, and so I'm just thinking of ways to make this kind of interesting. I'm not really thinking a whole lot about like anything. I'm just kind of trying to make it flow. Yeah, this kind of works. It's like, it's not even, to be honest, not the greatest thing I've ever done, but it's not about being the greatest thing ever. And I think that's what you kind of have to do sometimes to get rid of the perfectionist mindset, because even I get stopped by my perfectionist mindset sometimes. And I just need to realize that's not the point. It's not the purpose right now. I don't need to be perfect in the moment. I can embrace the imperfections and use it to just be better than before, as in before I started. And if that is met, at least it was good. It was good. It was a good sketch. Because I guess sketching is sort of just like meditation, in that you don't have a good or bad sketching session, I guess, not inherently, right? And people sketch for different reasons too. Some people sketch to be better. Some people sketch to, become a professional. Some people sketch just to enjoy themselves, which it's like you can, and it's very rewarding. I'm just gonna keep drawing some of these curves. Maybe I'm gonna check in the book of how he does it, just how the artist here does it. I need to see. See, now I'm definitely not getting it as good as this, but that's not the point here. So, as long as I just get something from it, then it was a good time. So, just like even by looking at this reference a little bit, I'm getting a little bit more of an idea of what things I could do, I could add to make it slightly better. And I'm already just see myself improving a little bit. I'm not trying to be perfect. It just needs to be done. You just need to do it. And it's like now I can already see, like maybe the pattern just looks a little bit better than before. As long as I learned something new for myself and was like slightly better than before, then that's all that matters. Which is, I think, that's kind of what makes art so enjoyable. And then even after that, I can just add my own parts to it. Like I don't need to just follow the rules, because really there is no rules. The rules are for squares, and I'm no square. I'm a circle. I just really like drawing these sort of curves, curls and stuff. You see a lot of these kind of like curls and sort of Buddhist architecture / artwork and stuff. You see a lot more often in Asian art because they're more around the kind of Buddhist architecture. So it does make sense why they tend to have that. It's sort of like a symbolism And after adding a lot of these lines, you can kind of see where it starts to go. And maybe I can add some flowers or something, some sort of pattern, because I just love patterns on everything. Patterns are really pretty. As like, I know a lot of people point out that I wear very colorful things with just patterns everywhere all the time. And I don't know, it's just my style. I just like it. It's kind of cool looking. People seem to dig it. So it fits me. It's very me, I guess. And I kind of just have spirals and polka dots. Which I think works pretty well. It's getting somewhere. Then I can just add more sort of circles because it adds to the sort of theme I'm going with this pattern here. That's generally how patterns go, is that there's not necessarily a right or wrong. It's just sort of a theme, and that's generally the part that counts. And then you can just do anything in between the theme, and it just kind of fits. So it just kind of works. There we go. And then maybe I can do some sort of pattern here. And then there's some more patterns. Just pattern everything, because it makes it fun. What else should I add? Some just more patterns. Just more. Because that's what I just feel like doing today. Just adding all the pattern. All the pattern works. And then it's kind of like a cloud, maybe. Maybe I can just start adding like, I don't know, stars. Because it's like the sky is the theme. And then I can just add stars for whatever reason. And like moon shapes as well, because it kind of works. I feel like when you work more thinking in 2D shapes, generally the patterns tend to come out a lot better, from my experience. But I think it's just because, like, for some reason the way we perceive things, there is like patterns and recognize things, it just registers better in your head when it's two-dimensional. And I guess that's part of like what makes art sort of art. It's not necessarily right or wrong or anything. Sometimes 2D can be better than 3D when it comes to art. And I guess for some people, waifus. And I can just go a little bit further with this. I can just end it whenever. Like, yeah, I can just finish this artwork whenever I feel. But I just feel like keeping on going because I feel like there's some just like lines here. They kind of feel right. I'm not sure how to describe it, why they feel right. They just do. Some nonsensical-ish lines. But it's like they work. They do work. They do fit the theme. And then I can just draw some more waves here. It's just more or less of the same stuff. And it's very, very therapeutic to just do this. To just keep going. Just keep drawing it. And that's, I don't know, that's like meditation, I guess. I guess in a way I am meditating right now, like the monks. And I can just draw more nonsensical lines because I feel like it. Because I am in the zone. It just flows. And then maybe even just, I don't know, like I just feel like drawing maybe a straight line here and another thing, and then just maybe trying something else, some kind of more like mechanical looking pattern. To be honest, it's a little bit hard to draw more mechanical shaped patterns because the nature of just drawing freehand. But I'm gonna try it anyways, cause I feel like it. That's literally it. Yeah, I like that. That kind of works. Maybe if I add some like flowy lines in it, like this. Looks like waves. It kind of adds to like the direction of where the lines are going. and just keep filling in those gaps. And then it just kind of adds, anything that kind of adds to the feeling or selling the feeling is definitely worth adding. I don't know, I think my art style, I tend to be very maximalist in a way, where sometimes I just like to add, I just keep adding. But that's just sort of my thing. Because it is fun just to keep adding whenever you can. I think it definitely can make it pretty enjoyable. And then maybe here I just add like some polka dots because why not polka dots? It's a pattern. It's a thing. Just polka dots, just cause why not? Cause that's just where my mind's taking me right now. It's just polka dots, round shapes like this. Just everywhere, just all over the place. Doesn't matter. Just wherever your mind takes you. It's just so calming. I don't know, something about it is just so nice. It's like I'm not really thinking a whole lot about it. I'm just in the zen right now. Then maybe I'll just add some like frills here, because it feels nice. And there we go. I don't know, I think that's about it. I'm not trying to go like too far anywhere. I achieved a good time, and that's all that matters for today, and I've learned something new. So I think it's done. So for today's drawing session, I managed to draw this, or I just drew this, trying to more focus on just patterns and, you know, just making things feel like unique, or just give it the flow, more abstract today. I'm not really focusing on making things like grounded completely in reality, but also it does have some grounding in reality, as these are waves, and so there it is on a dress too, so it's sort of like surreal a little bit, I can imagine. But it's just kind of got this storybook feeling to it, but then it's also abstract-ish. I don't think all art has to be super perfect all the time. Some parts of it I think are just great to, you know, just think about what is possible in like something that doesn't even exist. Like, you know, show people something that they cannot see, I guess. And yeah, it's a really good like just practice, like drawing practice. Also just like thought experiments with just shapes and patterns and stuff. It is a really good way to start drawing. And I guess it's just, yeah, like I enjoy drawing patterns and like taking inspiration from, you know, just like this. So that's kind of fun. Anyways, if you use my drawing session to just help yourself, you know, get motivated to drawing, try it. At me on Twitter at Alisa's Art Diary, and yeah, I'll probably repost it. Bye.